Late in life, Anthony Quinn chose to speak openly about Charles Bronson, and when he did, his words carried a quiet depth shaped by decades of lived experience. Quinn was not a man who spoke lightly, especially about fellow actors who had carved their own path through hardship. When he finally shared his thoughts, it wasn't to create drama or rivalry, but to offer something more meaningful: understanding. He recognized something familiar in Bronson, something that went beyond Hollywood personas. His reflections revealed respect, not comparison. It was as if he saw in Bronson a reflection of his own journey, two men shaped by struggle, resilience, and the determination to remain true to themselves in an industry that often demanded compromise. That honesty gave his words lasting significance. From humble beginnings to inner strength, Anthony Quinn was born in 1915 in Chihuahua, into a life that began with hardship. His family later moved to Los Angeles, where survival required relentless effort. As a young man, Quinn took on physically demanding jobs, construction, boxing, and other forms of manual labor, to support his family. These early struggles were not easy, but they became the foundation of his character. They gave him a deep understanding of effort, pain, and perseverance. Unlike many actors who relied solely on training, Quinn carried real-life experiences into his performances. That authenticity became his strength. It allowed him to portray characters with a depth that felt real and relatable. His journey reminds us that true strength is often forged in the most difficult circumstances, long before success ever arrives. A life-changing turning point. Quinn's path might have taken a completely different direction if not for his encounter with Frank Lloyd Wright. While studying art and architecture, Quinn's expressive nature caught Wright's attention. Recognizing something unique in him, Wright encouraged him to explore acting. This moment became a turning point in Quinn's life. It wasn't just about changing careers, it was about discovering a new way to express himself. Acting gave Quinn a platform to channel his emotions, experiences, and creativity. It allowed him to transform his struggles into something meaningful. This shift marked the beginning of a remarkable journey, proving how a single moment of guidance can redirect a life. Quinn didn't just follow a new path, he embraced it fully, bringing with him everything he had learned along the way. Breaking through barriers in Hollywood. When Quinn entered Hollywood in the 1930s, the industry was not welcoming to actors from diverse backgrounds. He faced typecasting and was often limited to stereotypical roles. Despite this, he refused to give up. His persistence paid off in the early 1950s when he delivered powerful performances in films like Viva Zapata and Lust for Life. These roles earned him Academy Awards and recognition as a serious actor. He became the first Mexican-born performer to win an Oscar, breaking barriers for others to follow. Quinn didn't just succeed, he redefined what was possible. His journey through Hollywood was not easy, but it was impactful. He proved that talent and determination could overcome even the most deeply rooted limitations, paving the way for future generations. A career defined by passion and versatility. Quinn's career reached its peak with unforgettable roles such as Zorba the Greek, where he portrayed a character full of life, passion, and freedom. The role became a symbol of his own spirit, bold, expressive, and deeply human. He also delivered memorable performances in films like Lawrence of Arabia, showcasing his ability to bring complexity to every character. Across more than 150 films, Quinn demonstrated extraordinary versatility. He was not confined to one type of role. Instead, he embraced a wide range of characters, each with its own story. Beyond acting, he was also a painter, sculptor, and writer, proving that creativity was at the core of who he was. His work reflected a life lived with passion and purpose, a personal life full of complexity. While Quinn's professional life was celebrated, his personal life was far more complicated. He experienced long marriages, deep relationships, and moments of conflict that mirrored the intensity of his on-screen roles. He was devoted to his family, yet his restless nature often led to challenges. These contradictions made him human, someone who felt deeply and lived fully, Even when it wasn't easy, his life was not defined by perfection, but by experience. Through both joy and struggle, Quinn remained true to himself. This authenticity shaped not only his personal journey, but also the way he viewed others. It allowed him to understand people on a deeper level, including those who, like him, had faced their own battles, recognizing a kindred spirit. When Quinn spoke about Charles Bronson, it became clear that his respect was rooted in shared experience. Bronson, known for his quiet intensity, had also risen from a life of hardship. Quinn understood that this kind of background shapes a person in profound ways. He saw Bronson's reserved nature not as distance, but as strength, a form of self-protection. In an industry that often valued loud personalities and dramatic expressions, Bronson's silence stood out. Quinn admired this quality, recognizing the power of presence without words. He believed that Bronson's performances carried a truth that could not be manufactured. It was something earned through life, not taught in studios. This recognition reflected Quinn's ability to see beyond appearances and appreciate authenticity. Strength in silence and simplicity. Quinn often spoke about the importance of authenticity, and in Bronson, he saw a man who embodied that principle. Bronson's characters were not built on elaborate dialogue or exaggerated emotion. Instead, they relied on stillness, subtlety, and quiet strength. Quinn understood that this approach required confidence and discipline. It meant trusting the audience to feel what wasn't said. For Quinn, this was not a limitation. It was a powerful form of storytelling. He respected how Bronson resisted the pressure to conform to Hollywood's expectations. In doing so, Bronson preserved a sense of honesty in his work. Quinn believed that this honesty was what made his performances enduring. It was a reminder that sometimes less truly is more. A life of reflection and peace. In his later years, Quinn stepped away from the spotlight and settled in Bristol, Rhode Island. There, he found a sense of peace that had often been missing in his earlier life. Surrounded by nature and quiet beauty, he reflected on his journey, the struggles, the successes, and the lessons learned. This period allowed him to reconnect with himself, away from the demands of Hollywood. It was a time of understanding and acceptance. He no longer needed to prove anything. Instead, he focused on appreciating what he had experienced. His reflections on Bronson came from this place of calm and clarity, shaped by a lifetime of growth. A legacy rooted in authenticity. Anthony Quinn passed away in 2001, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. His life was not just about acting, it was about resilience, creativity, and staying true to oneself. His words about Charles Bronson serve as a reminder of what truly matters. Beyond fame and success, it is authenticity that endures. Quinn's journey shows that strength comes from embracing who you are, even in the face of challenges. His story, like his performances, remains powerful because it is real. And in the end, that is what defines a lasting legacy. Not perfection, but truth.